It is 6:12 in political news. Florida Representative Matt Gaetz, who led the push to oust Kevin McCarthy as Speaker, said he feels confident the House GOP might have a Speaker tonight. He also went on to praise the plan of Louisiana Representative Mike Johnson, as well as Oklahoma Representative Kevin Hern, who are both eyeing the Speaker seat. There are now just 8 candidates vying for the position, with Dan Muser becoming the first candidate to drop out. House Republicans are scheduled to hold secret ballots this morning to determine who will be the Speaker nominee. Joining us this morning is KSLA News 12's Washington correspondent Ashanti Ford. Good morning to you, Ashanti. The first question that we have is basically 8 candidates have joined the race for Speaker of the House after Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan dropped his bid last week. Who are some of the top names on this list?
So Tom Emmer is believed to be the favorite, but currently there are no signs that any of the 8 candidates that have kind of thrown their hat in the race can get the 217 votes that they actually need to become House Speaker. Last night, a closed-door candidate forum was held. This is where candidates kind of have an opportunity to tell other House members why they feel they should be House Speaker. This morning, we'll see that secret ballot to see who the Speaker designate will be, which is essentially who they choose amongst themselves. Then we'll go ahead and move towards that floor vote to see if they could come together to name a Speaker of the House. But we know with the floor vote, that's where Ohio Representative Jim Jordan fell short, right, on 3 separate occasions. So with no clear majority, this could go for several more rounds.
All right, so we had that forum last night, and then we will have the internal vote this afternoon, I believe. The Senate this week is set to move the White House's $105 billion supplemental package that includes aid for Israel and Ukraine. What are chances of passage in the Senate?
There's a lot of strong bipartisan support there, right, when it comes to supporting both Israel and Ukraine. So this should make it through the Senate with no issues outside of the issues we have in our own House, literally, right? So if we don't name a Speaker of the House, nobody's getting anything, in short. In addition, let's not forget why there was a divide in the first place when it came to passing those 12 appropriations. That's in part why we needed an extension to keep the government open. So we know that several far-right House members have already said that they will not support a bill that gives more money to Ukraine. So as long as we stay divided, that's as long as we will remain paralyzed in terms of the additional aid that we can give to either Israel or Ukraine.
All right, and reports say Hamas released 2 more hostages on Monday. What more do we know, and what is the latest response from U.S. and other Western nations concerning the situation in Israel and Gaza?
That's correct. We are slowly starting to see a release of hostages. We saw 2 elderly women being released at the latest. I believe one is 79, the other is 85. And then just days before that, we saw a mother and what appeared to be her teenage daughter released. But in terms of those elderly women, guess what? Their husbands are still remaining hostage. So while it's great, this proof of life, and Israeli officials have even released a statement thanking Egypt and thanking the Red Cross for their assistance, Hamas still currently has around 200 hostages spread throughout the city. But in terms of aid, the U.S. and Israel has promised a continued flow of resources into Gaza, which for right now includes food, water, and medical supplies and equipment, which we know they need so desperately after that hospital bombing.
All right, thank you, Ashanti Ford. And of course, we will be watching to see what happens with that internal vote, especially with Louisiana Representative Mike Johnson on that ballot. We'll see if he gets the nomination. Thank you very much.